Hello, welcome to this week's video. This week, we're going to talk about making more money in your current job. This is not about side hustles. This is not about getting a second job or any of those other things that you might be able to do to bring in more money. This week's video is on how to make more money in your current job. There are 4 things you can do today, at least you can start to do today, that are going to make you a higher earner than you perhaps are today. I'm going to talk about 4 things you can do, 4 steps you can take, 3 of which you can start doing today in order for you to earn more money in the job that you're in today. These 4 things, these 4 steps will help you regardless of what field you work in. Number 1, be the student of your craft. What does that mean? It means be a continuous learner, no matter what you do, no matter what field you're in, no matter what your job, no matter where on the ladder you are, whether you're just starting out or if you've been at your job for a while. Any job can be expanded in scope and value depending on who's holding that job. Now, I've been in leadership positions for 20 years. I've been in human resources for over 15 years. I've observed this time and time and time again. Every time I brought a new person into the organization, any organization that I've ever been with, I've always told them during the interview process, and normally people ask, well, what does the job entail? What do I have to do? Of course, there are the basics of the job that a company is hiring you for, and there are basics of the job that you currently have right now that you probably need to fulfill. Now, beyond those basics of what you're hired to do, you can expand that job to anything you want it to be. You can make your job anything that you want it to be. What do I mean by that? Now, if you can get really good at what you do, what you're hired to do, the basics of your job, the fundamentals of your job, once you've done that, pay attention to what others are doing. Pay attention to what your manager is doing, your supervisor, people higher up in your organization, even your coworkers who are really effective, who've been there for a while. Pay attention to what they're doing. Ask yourself, what can you learn from them? What can you learn about the company? Can you research the company? Can you figure out or ask somebody, spend time with senior people in your organization or even your coworkers to learn about the business? What business is your company in? Do you know how your company makes money? Do you know what you can do from your job to help the company, to add value, to help your supervisors? Learn to do your job really well and very effectively. And trust me, that will not go unnoticed. Once you've learned to do your job effectively and efficiently, what you've done is you've created some space, some time in each day or each week to do the projects that you really want to do. And not only that, but the projects that are going to help you grow, the projects that are going to help you get noticed. It's really important for you to know that even if this job that you're in right now, even if it's not your dream job, it's important for you to treat it with respect and give everything that you got. If you're there for 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day, 9 hours a day, whatever your work day might be, you are there for that period of time anyways. So you might as well use it, add value, learn as much as you can. Every job that you have, it's going to help you in the next level. It's going to help you at the next stage of your life. Everything happens for a reason. Every job is a stepping stone to wherever you might want to be. Even if you want to be the CEO of a company one day, or you want to open your own business one day, it doesn't matter what you want to do one day, or even what you want to do a year from now or 2 years from now. The job that you have right now is expanding you in ways that you don't even know yet. It's going to help you become the kind of person that you need to be to secure the job of your dreams. Just remember that. Think about it this way. If you don't value the job that you have right now, if you don't appreciate what you have right now, if you don't appreciate the money that you're making right now, why would you be given anything different? That's not how the universe operates. Let me give you an example. Think of a parent who takes their child to an ice cream shop, okay? They take their little child, 3, 4, 5-year-old, and the child wants 3 scoops of ice cream. So the parent gives in and gets the child 3 scoops of ice cream, piled up one on top of the other. And as soon as the child is given the ice cream, because it's a child, they can't balance all of that, they drop the ice cream. Now they're crying because they want more. Do you think a good parent will go and get another 3 scoops of ice cream for that child? No, they're probably going to get them 1 because that's all the child can handle. The universe or life, whatever name you want to give it, is the same way. It only gives us what we can handle. So you have to show that you can handle what you're given. Not only that you can handle what you're given, but you appreciate and value and respect what you're given. So always, always, always be the student of your craft. Even if that's not what you want to do in the long term, that's fine. You're spending valuable days and hours of your life there. If you're spending 8 hours of your day there, 40 hours a week, use those 40 hours to learn and to add value. Many times people fall into this trap of thinking that when I get my dream job, when I do what I'm passionate about, that's when I'm really going to give it my all. And not only that, I want to be able to make money from what I'm passionate about. Now, this thinking can really work against you. I'm all for following your bliss. I'm all for doing the things that you're passionate about and getting paid for it. That's actually the best case scenario. That is wonderful, and it can be done. Absolutely, it can be done. And I think it's really important for all of us to unleash our creativity and do what we love. And through doing what we love, we're able to earn money, as much money as we want. And that is absolutely, I think that's absolutely the place everyone should be. But there's a path to get there. You may not be able to get from where you are now all the way to where you want to be. And not only that, your bliss, to use Joseph Campbell's words, Joseph Campbell was a famous American writer who made these words famous, follow your bliss. And I think people have taken that out of context a little bit. As much as I think it's possible to follow your bliss and make money off of it, but at the same time, following your bliss doesn't mean that you should make money off of it. You may or may not. What if it doesn't happen? Does that mean that you don't follow your bliss? Following your bliss simply means do what you're passionate about. So if you have your day job that earns you the paycheck that you need to live day to day, but you also love playing the guitar, or you also love singing, or you love teaching yoga, or fill in the blanks, whatever it might be, or you want to write. Just because you have your day job that gives you the money that you need doesn't mean that you shouldn't follow your bliss. You can work your day job and then you can take guitar lessons at night. You can go get a yoga teacher job on Saturday and Sunday, or you can sing in the evenings and on the weekends. So following your bliss, which I really do think it's been taken out of context, following your bliss simply means do what makes you come alive. But don't count on making money off of it, at least not right away. Elizabeth Gilbert, who is a great author, she's the one who wrote the book called Eat, Love, and Pray. And she talks about that actually in one of her books, one of her more recent books, that whatever it is that you're passionate about, I think she calls it your art. So for her, obviously it was writing. And whatever your art is, whatever feeds your soul, that art, that creativity, what she says is doesn't owe you anything. It does not owe you money. It doesn't owe you a living. It just, all it does, when you practice it, it makes you come alive. And if you do that on a regular basis, whatever it is that you love doing, if you do that in your free time, that fills your passion bucket so that you can take some of that and go to work and do a really good job at work as well. And again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't follow your passion and try to make money out of it. I'm not saying that at all. But don't expect it to do everything for you. Don't expect it to pay you money now. And until you do that, you begrudgingly go to work and you're not really contributing in a wholehearted way. All of that is going to come across. And money at the end of the day is energy. It's It's the value that we give to the world. It's the value that we bring to the world that we get money in exchange for it. So whatever you do, be a good student of whatever it is that you're doing. So at work, if that's not necessarily your dream job, be the student of that craft, your bliss on the side, whatever that you're passionate about. Give that everything that you have as well. Number 2, add insane amount of value at work. Take on the additional responsibilities. Do anything that you can do. Figure out ways. I mean, you're a smart, capable person. Figure out ways to do more at work, to see how you can add your natural talents to the job that you have. Bring your whole self to work and add value, add value, add value. There's a beautiful essay written by Ralph Waldo Emerson called Compensation. You can Google it. It's available for free. It's a rather lengthy essay, but the essence of his essay called Compensation is that you get in return the value that you give out. Emerson says in his essay that in life, you are compensated by the contributions that you make. In other words, you reap what you sow. It's cause and effect. So go the extra mile, do the things that you can do to add value every single day, and you will be rewarded. That's one of the laws of the universe. There's no two ways about it. It's like the law of gravity, whether you believe it or whether you think it's real or if you think it's made up, it doesn't matter. The law exists. It existed before we knew there was such a thing called law of gravity, and it continues to exist. So this law of compensation works exactly the same way. You are rewarded in direct proportion to the value that you give. And as you continue to give value, actually what you get in return is tenfold. It's 100-fold. But the key is you have to give first. It's like, think of a fireplace, right? A wood-burning fireplace. If you sit there and you say to it, give me heat, that's not how it works. You have to put the wood in there first. You have to light the fire, and then it gives you heat. And then it continues to give you heat. Life works the same way. Make yourself indispensable. Number 3, check your attitude. It's very important to be positive at work, no matter what you do. Bring your positive self into work. And don't go in there with the attitude of you don't want to be there. Because if you're spending your days and hours and weeks and months with this attitude that you don't want to be there, I assure you your earnings will reflect that. Refrain from gossiping, complaining, whining, or just having this entitled type of attitude that the company owes you something or the world owes you something. No one owes you anything. No one owes any of us anything. Support your company, support your boss. That's where your paycheck is coming from. And a lot of times I see people fall into this trap that, oh, my boss doesn't do anything. I do his job anyways. I do her job anyways. Don't fall into that trap. You have no idea the type of pressure that they have on themselves. And I'm not saying that all bosses are good or hardworking or anything like that, but there's nothing you can do about that. That's not within your control. But majority of the times we have no idea what's on the plates of the people higher up the organization. So be the support to them. So when you're doing your job, ask them what you can do to help. Trust me, that doesn't go unnoticed. Ask yourself this question. If your company was downsizing, if your boss was downsizing her department, will she fight to keep you? Why or why not? And finally, number 4, last but not least, ask for more money. And there's a way to do that. If you've been practicing and you've implemented the first 3 steps, you've been a student of your craft for a period of time, and you are adding insane amount of value, and you have good attitude. Now you've been helping your boss, you've been helping your company, you've been taking on projects, you're doing all of these things, and you're consistent with all of that, and you don't have an entitled mentality. You are genuinely contributing to your boss, you're genuinely contributing to the company, and now you've been making enough emotional deposits to ask for more money. But there's a way to do that. Make sure that you are prepared to have this conversation. Approach is very important. Here's what you want to do. Make a list of all the projects that you worked on, and not only a list of projects, but how have those projects added value? How have you added value? Quantify it as much as possible if you can. So here's how you want to do that. Approach your manager. You can do this by email, you can do this by a phone call or in person, depending on what your situation is, whether or not you work at the same location. And say to him or her that you would like a few minutes of her time to discuss your role and responsibilities, to discuss your compensation, and you would greatly appreciate if she could give you half an hour of her time. And then set up that meeting, go in prepared. Make sure that you know exactly the work that you've done and how you've added value, and then present your case to her in a positive, uplifting way, and go in and ask for what you want. Make sure you have a number in mind and say that, look, this is what I've done in the last 6 months or in the last year, and this is the salary that I'm making, and I've done some research. I would like X amount of money. And then leave it with her or him and let them think about it. Come back a couple of days later, follow up. 9 out of 10 times you will get something if you've been making those emotional deposits in the bank. In other words, if you've been doing all of those things to truly add value to the company. And depending on the situation, if you don't get anywhere, or if your manager is not open to it, or for whatever reason they don't give you a positive response, at that point you have a decision to make. Are these truly some circumstances with the company or with your department that it's not possible financially to give you more money? If that's the case, then it's up to you whether you understand that, if you want to be understanding and you want to come back and try that again. And the other scenario could be that they're just not open to it. At that point, you have a decision to make whether this company is for you or not. One thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to become disgruntled. I don't want you to become negative. I don't want you to become pouty or entitled or anything like that. You have to remain professional. There are 2 choices. When we want something and we ask for it, and we've done all of the things that were in our control. So if you've done everything that was in your control, you've given it all the effort, and you've achieved results, and you're still not getting what you want, then your decision is either you stay or you go. And if you feel like you're not valued where you are, then you find somewhere else where you're valued and you'll get more money and so on. But what you don't want to do is stay at the company unhappy, and be disgruntled because you didn't get your way. That's never the way to do it. And these 4 steps will help you earn more money no matter where you are in your career ladder, no matter what company you work for. If you're consistent and you truly follow these steps, they will serve you for the rest of your life. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried these steps and what's the outcome, what's the result that you've got. Thanks for watching the video. I upload a new video every Thursday, so don't forget to tune in next Thursday.